Good morning. Here I am on my A Sunday Thought. Just to give a little preface, yesterday I was really busy doing 15-minute mini readings for people through Zoom. And when you do a lot of readings one after the other like that, not only did it leave me a little tired, but it began to see how patterns work, how very often that you might say the collective consciousness, which we know right now is running tremendous fear, but also the offset of that, the need for more faith, the need to understand how you actually can be in control, or as I always call it, command of your own life. So I wanted to talk a little bit about faith today. It is something I don't think too much about for myself because I've been involved in spiritual study for a long time, and it's part of who I am now is to have faith, to understand how when I really want something, how to create it, how to work with the energies that I call universal love energy, but it's called by many names. But it's the energy that is there that we create, that will help us, that will bring us to that point of being able to achieve what we want. I spoke, I know, a few weeks ago about the collective consciousness. I'm not sure what I exactly said, but that's where all the thoughts go to create thought forms. I'll have to tell you a funny story that happened to me recently. I was in a Walmart, and yes, with a mask on. That was not always comfortable. But anyway, I was walking by the entrance where I wasn't going to go out, but I had this overwhelming thought that if I took my cart and just walked out the door, what would they do? Now, that was not my thought. I don't think that way. I pay for what I'm going to take, and I'm just going to walk out in a much different door, which I eventually did. But I just realized that we're people beginning to think that. The collective consciousness of thought creates. So somebody might have walked into that very innocently, had that thought, and just walked right out. And so it's unfortunate, we might say, to not be aware of what is actually happening in the thought realm. So what does that have to do with faith? What it has to do with faith is that right now there doesn't seem to be much faith in the collective consciousness. People are waiting to see what happens. What more restrictions are we going to have? What more is going to go on? There's a lot of basic media, or as they call it, main media going on about what's the next step, what the next thing. And it just seems sometimes to just get worse. Just when you think, oh, okay, this is going to be lifted, and then it gets worse. Now, for those that don't know, I live in an area that has very, very little COVID in it at all. A few deaths, that's all. Occasionally in a city north of us, there has been some cases of people have come in. But again, not a lot of cases that have gone on. I look at stats a lot. I've always been interested in that and the percentages. And it's like people are losing faith that life is going to get back into normality. What is going to happen? Where am I going to be? What am I going to do? And yet at the same time, I saw over and over again in the readings I was doing yesterday that people were making plans. Should I move here? Should I start a new job? Should I do this? Should I do that? Always asking, confirmation that what they were wanting to do. I just want to point out too that when I'm reading for anything that we're about decision, I always look at both sides. What's the outcome of doing A? What's the outcome of not doing A? What's the outcome of doing B? And what's the outcome of not doing B? So that people have information about their decisions. It's not up to me to decide for them. It's up to me to help them get clarity. That's another thing that maybe I'll talk on at another time. But let's get back to faith. What do you actually believe in? Do you believe in a supreme being? Do you believe, whatever name you put on it, it doesn't matter, because energy is energy, and the belief systems are your belief systems. If it gives you comfort, if it gives you inspiration, if it gives you a sense of feeling connected, it is all beneficial and all very, very helpful. I was thinking, I come from New Zealand, which when I grew up had lots of optimism, and we had a saying, "It'll be all right, Jack." Don't ask me where it came from. I had no idea. I grew up with that. And that was like basically saying everything will turn out all right. And I always had that element of optimism, even when life was really difficult and tough for me. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I had that attitude. It will work out. But then I had to learn, how could it work out? How would it work out? How do I goal set? What does making one person create what they want easily and one person not? All of those things I have worked to pass on to my students and clients, because it's a matter of knowing. Because what do you believe? Do you believe life is supporting you, or do you believe that life is against you? Now, this isn't the big general things, but again, we have some people that are not really supporting us. They're supporting their own endeavors. They're supporting their ideas and their concerns. And all of these things really, really make a big difference when it comes to I should say, how it comes to affect you in how you think and what you do. How do you goal set? A lot of people don't realize that you have to believe that you're going to have. You're going to have to put energy. I always teach that it's how you think, feel, and respond that creates your vibration. Your vibration, which is your day-to-day thinking, is what brings things to you. Do you have faith in yourself? Do you have faith that you will handle, endure, deal with whatever that needs to be dealt with? Do you have faith in that there is this energy to support you? As I said, it doesn't matter what name. So this week, my Sunday thought is about faith. What do you believe? What do you really believe deep down? Do you believe that you are supported? Do you believe that you are loved no matter what? Do you believe that people can create through their collective consciousness, rather than fear that we have now, a sense of well-being and knowing that right will be done? Now, as usual, I'm just going to show my website, where if you want to contact me, you can do that through my www.normacowie.com, and you can press your likes, press the subscribe button. I always appreciate that. And I have a newsletter that goes out monthly talking about things that I'm doing, specials, just like I had yesterday, all those kind of things. So please check out the website and sign up for the newsletter. I want to thank you for listening to this week's Sunday Thought. Thank you.